man. That was the thing. I mean, it's just amazing. Just amazing.
How'd you like working with the Rat Pack in those John Hughes movies, along with Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone?
Well, I didn't work with I didn't work with anybody in Home Alone. The interesting thing was, in other words, I played the cop. You know, the cop who was eating the donut, and the donut fell on the telephone. That's my claim to fame in Home Alone. And that donut falling on the phone and sticking to it, that piece of donut. That was just a mistake that they left in. I mean, they must have shot that scene, my little scene, maybe 10 or 15 times. And not because of me, but it was a tracking shot, and something always went wrong technically with the tracking. Either a light would blow, or the camera would jiggle on the track. Or So they did. And when I came in, first of all, that was a gift, that part. It's interesting in that, okay, what happened was I got a call from my agent saying, John Hughes just called. They want you, Daniel Stern. That was the guy in Home Alone with Joe Pesci.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Stern wants more money to be in the movie. They don't want to pay him, so he's going to drop out, or that's what they're saying. If you don't pay me more money, I'm not doing the movie. So John called my agent and said, we're going to replace Daniel with Larry. So Larry is going to be with Joe Pesci for Home Alone. So I go, oh, well, cool. So my agent called me. So he says, and this is happening now. In other words, they're shooting the movie. They've already started shooting the movie. And Daniel is giving them a lot of horseshit. So, boom, you're in. But if they're still negotiating. If the negotiation falls through with Daniel, you got to get on a plane tonight and get there, and you're shooting. You shoot tomorrow.
Really?
So So they said So my agent said, pack your bags, put it behind the couch, and wait for a phone call from me, and it'll happen within the next 2 or 3 hours. So I said, okay. So that's what I did. I packed. I sat, and I waited for the phone call. And he calls up and he said, well, Daniel caved. So he's doing the movie, so forget it. I go, oh, man. Okay. Forget it. So I forgot it for about 2 weeks. And then my agent called me and said, okay, here's the deal. They feel really bad, the producers of Home Alone, and John, they said they felt really bad about setting me up like that and then turning me off, and he said that wasn't very nice of them. They want to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing is they don't have any roles left except this one role, that cop thing that I did. It's just, I don't know, just one take, I think, one scene.
Mm-hmm.
They said they only have one scene for you. It's way below you. So what they want to do is they'll pay you. It's one scene. It's, I think, 5 lines. They'll pay you $10,000. They'll fly you first class. They'll pick you up in a limousine to the airport at both ends and take you back both ends in a chauffeur-driven limousine. Pay $10,000. They'll put you up in a hotel, or you can fly in, shoot it in the afternoon, and you can be sleeping in your own bed at night. So that's their offer because they feel they insulted you. So I said, yeah, man, cool. So that's what happened. So that's why I did that little thing. And then when I showed up, they said, and it wasn't a little thing. I mean, I liked the part. So when I showed up, they said, look, what do you want to do? Do you want to do anything with that character? Do you want to? I said, well, I'd like to eat a donut. It's a cop, it's a donut. I'd like to eat a donut. So they said, great. So as soon as I got on the set, I was about 2 hours early from my scene. they sent out to a bakery, and they had a, what do you call it? You know those big rolling things where they have stacks of donuts? It's about 10 stacks, or no, about 20 stacks high. You roll them around. It's got about 100 or 200 donuts on it, and they wheel them. You know what I'm talking about?
I do believe so, yes.
It's in a bakery. They got one of those with 100 glazed donuts, and they put it next to the sets. Yeah. So they said, just in case you need an extra donut, we had enough donuts. Now, luckily, they had 100 donuts because they filmed it 15 times because of technical difficulties, and I had to eat a donut each time. And I was getting sick of these donuts, and the technical thing kept on screwing up. And finally, on the last take, I didn't know what was going on. I was just doing it over and over and over and over again and eating the fucking donut. And finally, on one take, as soon as the guy yelled cut, everybody broke down laughing like they had been holding it in until the director said cut. And I said, what happened? And they said, come here, let me show you. And they played it back to me on the TV Village, and they played the cut. And as I'm eating the donut, a piece of donut falls out of my mouth, and because of the glaze and the hot lights, it's stuck to the phone.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm talking, and I'm carrying on the scene. I don't know, because I can't see the thing. It's at my mouth. It's a landline phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking, and there's a piece of donut stuck, right below my lips there, and I'm talking. And it was very funny. And when people see it, they always talk about that. Hey, how did that donut thing work? How did you work that? It was a total mistake, and John said, we're going to leave that in. That's really funny. So, so it's little things like that make my job of being an actor interesting. I mean, I didn't get this huge job of replacing Daniel Stern, but they paid me a huge amount. So whenever Home Alone gets played on television, and it gets played a lot, especially around Christmas, I get a residual off of that $10,000.
Nice.
So it's like a little gift of an apology that keeps on paying. It's amazing. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I like about making movies. It's just quirky little accidents and apologies and gifts and weirdnesses that you just go through. Being an actor is not that great. I don't care about it that much. I want to create. I'm a stand-up comedian. I like to do things that come out of my own head and make people laugh. And that's where I'm at. So I write screenplays, or I make my little film shorts, and that keeps me really happy. So that's what I do now. That's what I do now. I make my own little things. And I'm building.
And it sounds like you're doing a really good job. We'll get to some of your works that you had written, which got almost won an award, but got a nomination, and what you're currently doing right now. First of all, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can also download and listen to The Mike Wagner Show on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can also watch The Mike Wagner Show on YouTube as well. We're here with veteran actor, director, comedian, and producer Larry Hankin, talking about his comedy, his experiences, and we just got done with Home Alone, and we also got into stuff that he likes to write and produce. So we're going to get to that. You had won an award, or was nominated back in 1980 for a short film called Sally's Diner, which earned you and the film producers a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Film. And first of all, tell us about Sally's Diner.
Sally's Diner. Again, I'm really into process. That's I guess how yeah. So Sally's Diner was a process. It wasn't meant to be shown. Period. It wasn't meant to be shown. It was an exercise. A friend of mine, Harry Matthias, who was the cinematographer of Sally's Diner, his wife was an actress, Anna Matthias, at the time. That's who she was. And she said to me, my husband, Harry, is a cinematographer. He needs a reel, So why don't you write a little movie, and he'll be the cinematographer, and you'll have a little movie, and he'll have a reel, because he'll be the cinematographer. Because he was a second camera operator, and he wanted to be a cinematographer. So I said, okay, I'll think about it. So, it took me, a month or two, and I wrote this little film short. It was about 20 minutes long. And I showed it to him, and he said, it's way too long. Cut it in half, make it 10 minutes long. Which I was insulted. Here I sweated. I wasn't a writer back then. I just did my own stuff. I got up on stage and I did it. If it didn't work, then I would change it. Mm-hmm. But to have somebody tell you, out of the, just cut it in half. It's too long. It's like, what do you mean? But I did it. I did it. It was hard work. Killing your children. It's called in the writing parlance. Yeah. So I cut it in half, and then I showed it to him again. He said, "Okay, I'm going to go get my crew." Oh, he said, "No." I said, and he read. I said, "Well, how much do you think this is going to cost?" It took place in a diner. It was just 3 characters in one place. He said, "Well, it'll cost $5,000." So I said, "Okay, fine. I'll go get a couple of jobs." I was kind of a working actor, so I got a couple of jobs. I saved up $5,000 over a couple of months, and I did a bow jest. I've always wanted to do a bow jest, and the bow jest was, I took the $5,000, I cashed my paychecks so that I had cash. So I had $5,000 in cash in small bills, nothing larger than a 20, and I took I put them in a rubber band around it, and I put it in a brown paper bag, a small brown paper shopping bag, something about 7 by 7 or something like that. And then I just went over to Harry's house. I remember it was dinner time, because that's his wife Anna opened the door. "Oh, Larry, how you doing?" I said, "Can I talk to Harry?" And she said, "No, we're having dinner now. I don't like him to be disturbed while we're having dinner." I said, "Well, I just want to see him. I just have to give him something. That was all." Mm-hmm. She said, "All right, just make it really fast." So she walks me into the kitchen where he's having dinner, and I go, "Oh, hi, Harry. Oh, hi, Larry." I said, "Here." That was all I said. "Here." I just put this brown paper bag on next to his plate, and I split. I said, "Okay, thanks, Anna. Bye." Boom, and I split. And once I got outside, I said, "Holy cow! I just left $5,000. I don't know what's going to happen." But I waited, and the next day he called me and said, "Hey, man, cool. Okay, get your actors together. We're going to shoot in 2 weeks." And I go, "Wow, holy cow!" So we shot it in 2 weeks. I said, I got to find a director, and Harry said, "No, you're directing." And I go, "I've never directed anything." He said, "It's easy, man. Don't worry about it." So I didn't worry about it, and I directed it, and we kind of fought a little on the floor between me and Harry, because he wanted to put the camera here because of the great shot, and I wanted it there because I'm the director. Mm-hmm. And so we worked it out. It was kind of cool. 2 artists trying to, have their vision, but we worked it out. And when I got too crazy, we're like, "Hey, man," when I start to shout, he would just say, "Hey, you're freaking out my crew. Why don't you walk around the block and we'll just set it up the way you want?" He talked to me very, calmly. "Why don't you just walk around the block, and when you come back, we'll have it set up the way you want." So I said, "Okay." I thought, wow, he's being very calm with me. I'm going to cool it. I'm going to walk around the block. I walked around the block, and by the time I got back, they had set it up his way.
Oh, my gosh.